This judgment should at last bring an end to protracted litigation resulting from a disputed nationalisation of Belize Telecommunications Limited and associated bodies. The dispute concerns the third and final payment due from the Government of Belize to Dunkeld International Investment Limited and the trustees of the B.T.L Employees Trust under a September 2015 settlement agreement made between those parties. The settlement was embodied in an October 2015 consent order of this court that granted the parties liberty to apply to it to enforce the settlement. As a result, the parties have applied to this court to determine the amounts of US dollars and Belize dollars to be paid by the government to the claimants, though the Belize dollar payments are to be held on trust to fund projects to help the people of Belize. The larger the amount of Dunkeld liabilities and trust liabilities, the greater will be the US dollar payment to the claimants, and less will be available in Belize dollars for the people of Belize. Unfortunately, the settlement made no provision as to how these liabilities were to be determined. Ideally, there should have been express provision for such liabilities to be determined by an expert auditor agreed upon by the parties with agreed terms of reference. In the absence of such a provision, the lengthy acrimonious relations between the parties made it almost certain there would be a dispute over fixing the amount of the liabilities. To avoid such a dispute, some agreed process for determination was necessary, or, in default, an application to this court, as had already occurred in respect of the second payment of compensation. The claimants, however, pushed ahead without consulting with the Government of Belize and appointed reputable independent firms of auditors to calculate the actual liabilities incurred in connection with the compulsory acquisition and to certify the relevant amounts due on the due settlement date, the 28th of June 2017. The Government of Belize, however, made it clear it wouldn't accept such certification, but would itself need to verify and agree the liabilities after being allowed to see relevant documents with supporting explanations if necessary. We rejected the Government of Belize's approach, but accepted that the claimant's blinkered conduct had led to delay, so that interest should not be payable from 28 June 2017. No aspersions have been cast by the Government of Belize on the professional competence and integrity of the international firms which had audited the actual liabilities incurred in connection with the compulsory acquisition.